aku Chandra Intan dan selamat datang di versi terbaru dari Fempire Podcast, yaitu Building Your Empire.
Yeah, you can come and join us too.
You know that? Fun fact.
So I have no idea.
Okay, welcome everyone to another episode of Building Your Empire. I'm Intan and I'm very happy to have you girls here.
Hi.
Thank you so much. We have Amanda.
Halo, aku Amanda. Aku sekarang lagi kerja sebagai data scientist, and that's sort of my focus and my passion. Tapi I'm also a mental health activist. Apalagi ya?
You're an actress as well.
I mean, I act for fun, not professionally. I dabble.
Thank you so much, girl, by the way, for being here. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Kalista.
Halo, nama saya Kalista Iskandar. Saya sebagai ahli hukum sekarang, sebagai konsultan swasta untuk pemerintahan. Lebihnya berharapnya pengacara ya ke depannya ya. And then I also mental health advocate, focusing lebihnya untuk women's rights, specifically gitu ya, women empowerment. And
ya, Kalista Iskandar ini juga dulu Putri Indonesia ya, di tahun 2020, if I'm not mistaken, was that right?
yeah, yes.
Okay, so our two inspirations today, this is like Indonesian young girls, which is amazing. And they both have beauty and brains. That's why they're here in this podcast.
Aww.
So, by the way, episode kali ini tuh special banget karena ini adalah episode April ya. Kita syutingnya April. Ini adalah edisi Kartini. Nah, that's why kita ngundang Kartini muda Indonesia hari ini to be sharing for you about their traits, and their tips about beauty and brains. So, yeah. Nah, are you guys
Semoga
ready
bermanfaat.
for the questions?
Sure. It's like a lightning round.
Okay. Nah, kalau Kartini adalah sosok perempuan yang juga punya beauty and brain gitu kan. So, menurut kalian, apa sih makna dari beauty and brain?
Beauty and brains menurut aku tuh, kalau brain ya pasti kita tahu lah ada pengetahuan kan, tapi nggak hanya lu pinter dalam suatu bidang gitu, atau mungkin lu cepet dalam matematika gitu, tapi memang ada kayak social IQ, EQ, memang it's very well rounded gitu. So when we talk about brain, I think it's how you focus on working yourself with your best abilities. Ya pasti kan kita semua ada bidang-bidangnya sendiri yang kita jago, yang kita jalanin telusuri sendiri gitu. Nah, in beauty menurut aku tidak hanya sesuatu aspek yang fisikal, tapi juga kita mau masukin like beauty from within. Kayak Beauty and the Beast kan belnya kan beauty from within gitu kan ya. And I think what it means to be beauty and brains today is not only the social construct of what society has placed upon us. Kayak misalkan di Indo, kalau beautiful tuh kulitnya tuh putih, mulus, yang kayak harus langsing, harus matanya bagaimana, proportionnya gimana. Tapi sebenarnya everyone is beautiful in their own way, you know. Ada orang yang kita lihat mungkin pertama biasa aja, tapi lama-lama kita lihat kayak personality-nya, kita lihat gimana mereka membawa diri, gimana kita menjadi teman yang baik, dan itu jadi beautiful inside and out gitu.
We love that. We really love that. What about you?
I should have gone first. Karena jawaban aku kayaknya sebenarnya ya sama-sama, mirip-mirip lah. In a way that I think, ya emang kepintaran itu bukan cuma kepintaran textbook, tapi juga kepintaran dalam hidup gitu. Karena sebenarnya untuk bisa survive in today's world, in today's economy, itu tuh you actually need to have street smarts, you know?
Yeah,
jadi kepintaran dalam menjalankan hidup dan memilih pilihan dalam hidup yang mungkin paling baik untuk bukan cuma diri kita sendiri, tapi juga untuk orang-orang di sekitar kita gitu. Sedangkan I feel like, as Kalista said, beauty itu tuh more than just the physicalities. I think it's like, physical beauty is overrated to a certain extent.
Preach.
You know, I feel like a lot of the things that comes with beauty itu privilege kan. And so I think people forget that sebenarnya it's worth more to be beautiful on the inside, untuk jadi orang yang baik, yang memiliki hati nurani, dibandingin what's socially accepted is beautiful.
Yeah.
Gitu sih.
Gue mau kasih kayak gini ya, kayak
Itu sebenarnya cuma jawabannya Kalista doang, tapi diubah-ubah.
Paraphrase ya, Bu. Oh my god. Nah, menurut pengalaman Kalista nih ya sebagai model dan juga Amanda yang berhasil menempuh pendidikan di luar negeri, because you did. So where did you go by the way?
So I went to King's College, in London, and then I went to the US after.
Okay. So how do you see beauty and brain like internationally? Karena kan kayak kalau misalnya tadi kan kita berbicara mengenai Kartini dan bagaimana sih kondisi standard beauty and brain di dunia. What do you guys think? Karena kan as a model, apalagi as beauty pageant, you know.
I mean, to be fair, emang beauty pageants ada suatu look yang mereka selalu mencari. Even though it doesn't mean harus satu kembali lagi harus satu warna atau apa. Mereka suka yang you're beautiful in your own way gitu. Kayak contohnya kita lihat Miss Universe winners gitu. Banyak yang warna kulitnya beda-beda. Kayak contohnya Zozy. Tahun ini juga ada berbagai orang gitu yang kita lihat cantikannya tuh tidak hanya satu bentuk, tapi benar-benar dilihat secara holistik gitu menurut aku. I think kalau misalkan dalam dunia modeling, meskipun aku sendiri nggak sering modeling, tapi dalam dunia seperti itu kan ya mereka, even in America, even in the UK, modeling apalagi sukanya yang kayak kurus banget, yang mungkin one look to fit that very high-end Vogue look gitu kan. Tapi sekarang menurut aku mulai evolving gitu. Karena kita banyak lihat ada plus size models yang kayak really focusing on women who have curves, who are very voluptuous, who are like exotic and goddess looking gitu. So I think the way we look at beauty and brains itu, it's evolving in its own form to each and every person gitu.
Iya sih, we see that it's more like inclusive now, ya nggak sih? Dari mulai race, beauty, and like sizes. Like we're doing great, I think. But like, what do you think?
Kalau dari aku sih sebenarnya, I think different countries tuh memiliki different beauty standards. I feel, and it's still something yang, you know, sebagai society, sebagai global citizens, we're working towards making it more inclusive for sure, and it's something that we see lebih banyak sekarang gitu. Tapi ya every country has their own like particular look that they go for. Aku tuh personally, what I hated the most is aku tuh dulu waktu kuliah tuh sering dibilang kayak exotic. The word exotic I hate.
It's overrated ya jadinya.
It's sort of like you see handbags as exotic. You see cat, birds or snakes or whatever. And it's quite objectifying sih jadinya kan sebenarnya that concept. Karena it's something that like they rarely see, and it's sort of seen as interesting, tapi it's also quite objectifying when you're being called basically something that you call.
Yeah, ngerti.
Like all these things kan. Kalau dari sisi aku tuh sebenarnya, I mean, it's not something that juga cuma di sana gitu. Banyak waktu aku kecil tuh, I think I met a lot of people yang bilang, ini tipe orang bule banget nih gitu. And that's sort of like that is also
kesel
in itself
jadinya.
tuh kayak dikerucutin kan, as if kayak because you're of darker skin tone in comparison to what's the norm di Indonesia as a beauty standard, all of a sudden orang Indonesia won't be attracted to you, tapi you know there are people out there that's gonna be attracted to you, and that's sort of a weird,
like a backhanded compliment.
Exactly.
Kalau kayak teman yang frenemy yang kayak, oh ya kamu udah hebat ya, aduh bedanya dibanding sama yang dulu ya.
So it's sort of like, I think something that we have to be aware of, that sebenarnya we can't all look like either it's Kate Moss yang skinny banget, or even like Kim Kardashian with her curves, you know. And it's sort of like these are all not necessarily achievable, and that should be okay gitu loh. And I think with sort of inclusivity, I hope that it's not something yang people berharap to become gitu, and fokusnya cuma di situ.
At some point it becomes a bit of pressure to conform to like
for sure.
Iya kan, kayak maksudnya kayak okay, we see Kim K, like she's like so voluptuous, tapi I know kayak gue nggak bisa, emang beda aja gitu. Mau seberapa pun gue jadi kayak nggak berhasil gitu.
Iya, apalagi kan it's also we also have to understand that kayak to to look a certain way is a privilege. Nggak semua orang memiliki privilege untuk kayak have the time to exercise.
Yeah,
Kayak,
true.
You know what I mean? Like not everyone have like an hour or two to spend in their day to do that. Nggak semua orang punya access to skincare. Nggak semua orang punya akses yang kayak gitu-gitu.
Healthy diets even.
Exactly.
Gila cuy, mahal banget bos.
Iya.
Healthy diets are mahal.
Gila, gue sedih sampai mau sehat pun di Indonesia rasa susah gitu kadang-kadang.
Iya, and it goes the same way for education menurut aku, in which what I realize is to get a good education is a privilege.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
And I feel very blessed that I have the opportunity to have embarked on in my studies and abroad that brought new perspective and it opened a lot of opportunities for me juga gitu.
So, salah satu hal nih ya yang perlu kita punya untuk kita tuh bisa achieve the brain and beauty that you guys define at the start is actually like we need to know ourselves, right? So yeah, to get that, how do you guys do it to yourself? Gimana cara kalian untuk bisa know yourself better? Because like
itu question.
Itu tuh kayak yang butuh orang 20 tahun untuk ketemu terus kayak oh iya, hi.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, okay.
I think it has a lot to do with pertama how you were first raised, the culture you grew up with, karena itu yang menjadi yang lu tahu selama itu. Lu jadi belajar dari orang yang seadat lu, pertemanan lu, keluarga lu, and lama-lama it's genetics gitu. Kayak kalau orang tua gue ternyata sering baca dan mereka ajarin gue baca, siapa tahu gue juga suka baca gitu. That's not really genetics, but like you get what I mean.
Yeah. Itu jatuhnya kan kayak budaya di dalam keluarga gitu kan, yang kayak turun-menurun.
Habit.
Kayak emang sifat tuh nurun sih. That's right. That's really right. And what about you? What do you think?
Apa ya? Like how do I get to know myself better? Sebenarnya a lot of self-reflection juga sih. Like things like meditating, you know, and like always looking internally. Karena menurut aku, if you don't do that, you're not self-aware.
That's true.
And the most important thing as a human, especially to have empathy towards other people, is to be self-aware supaya you're aware of both your positive and negative traits. Gitu. And always strive to work on
yourself
and always strive to put the positive aspects out there.
I think if I can add just a bit, like gue baru inget gitu gara-gara lu ngomong kayak one thing yang gue suka, I guess it's like training your empathy ya. Maksudnya kayak when you see sometimes how others treat you, lu jadi kepikir kayak when you treat others, you don't want to be treated gitu kayak poorly kan, kayak lu nggak mau lu dikata-katain, lu nggak mau lu diapain, so you treat others how you would treat yourself, you know. And in terms of like realizing who we are, dulu what I used to do is like journaling. Jadi kayak gue cerita, gue ngerasa gini hari ini, tapi kayak sometimes I'll ask kayak kenapa ya?
I think that's very very important sih, self-awareness. We're asking, nanya sama diri sendiri dan benar-benar apa ya, coba untuk ngerasain. I think the part with journaling itu juga kayak benar-benar bikin kita processing, because what's happening in our hearts, in our soul, in our body, sometimes tuh kayak nggak ke connect. Iya.
Jadi kayak wifi-nya kurang gitu.
Iya.
Jaringannya lemah.
And the way we process that, we understand ourselves is through words kan.
Iya.
Jadi kayak kalau misalnya kita journaling kan kita nulis, we put what's happening, words, and that's how we process things and we process ourselves. So that's really important. Nah kadang-kadang kalau gue sih kayak suka apa ya, lihat-lihat kayak zodiak gitu. I mean, being spiritual girl, sometimes we do zodiac or like weton, you know what I mean? Dude, weton gak sih? Do you know weton?
I don't, but I have so many friends who love looking at zodiac. Terus kalau cari pacar kayak, oh jangan deh, dia tuh Scorpio, ntar gak bagus sama zodiakmu gitu. And then
kayak your moon, you're right.
Iya.
Those things.
Udah ditambah-tambahin udah bingung
ditambah-tambah gue jadi kayak ya udahlah gue manusia aja lah ya yang pentingnya.
Juga yang kayak empiris gitu loh, because like for example I think like we gotta take some tests, empirical tests.
Okay.
For example kayak misalnya kita medical check.
Yeah.
Because it's important to know like our health condition.
Yeah, very.
Kayak allergy. That's
Sure.
not gonna be good. Atau mungkin kayak test personality test, like those things. But I think like one of the most effective is like DNA test. Have you guys tried it before?
We just tried the Asaran.
Yeah.
which is like very
Actually.
interesting process actually, because they have their own app and everything like that. Jadi kayak has a lot of aspects that they assess. I think there was like a COVID, there was a medical, there was a personality,
Success traits.
Oh my god. So it's super comprehensive.
Yeah, it's lumayan.
And it takes like super short.
Yeah, especially compared to the others yang kita tahu yang mungkin berbulan-bulan. This is like less than a month.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Lebih and I think quite keren sih. Maksudnya kayak di Indo kan pasti of course they have like medical check-up kan quite comprehensive. Tapi kan that doesn't go on like, oh lu sifatnya kayak gimana nih, kayak emang genetically-nya gimana, kind-hearted, apalah.
And it's so interesting to think about how kayak genetics can actually play a part in creating who you are as a person. Jadi you learn a lot from kayak these kinds of tests sebenarnya.
So, how's your results? Like, okay, tadi kan ada beberapa kategori ya.
Iya, kalau gue sih perfect gitu, kayak emang gitu aja.
We believe that.
I mean,
She is perfect. So like,
The only thing lacking is humility.
the only thing lacking is like, gue lari kabur gue.
so like, does it say about like personality traits?
It does. I think
It
what
does?
I got for mine was optimism, self-confidence, and sociality. Like the
Iya sih,
quality
itu
of being social. Kenapa extroverted? Kesel gak dengernya?
Gue juga
Kesel dengernya dikit-dikit. Ya lama-lama kayak ntar gue pulang, aduh kak, gak jadi. Gue pulang, gue sedih.
Oh my god. And that helps you.
It helps in understanding to like what phase I was in my life, my social aspects, everything. And I think it's very cool to see kayak how you handle stress in the end. Karena kayak kalau lu selalu optimis, misalkan lu stres ya lu optimis, it'll all be okay. Kalau negatif lu langsung mikir mati gue nggak jadi nih. Kayak aduh ganti deh gitu kan. But what was yours, dude?
My success traits were creativity, cognitive ability, and imagination.
I can see that. I can see that.
I see that too.
Cocok.
That's insane.
Jadi gini loh, kayak as a data scientist,
Yeah.
I feel like kayak a lot of people tuh kalau mikirin data scientist, mikirnya matematika, angka, dan hal-hal seperti itu, dan mereka nggak ngerasa itulah sesuatu hal yang
Keren.
yang maksudnya not imaginative, not
Yeah,
very
yeah,
creative,
true.
very
Yeah,
kayak hitam putih lah. Padahal sebenarnya it's not like that at all. Kayak when you're solving a coding problem especially, it requires creativity karena sebenarnya nggak selalu hitam putih. You know, kayak a
Cara
small-
lu solvingnya
Yeah,
gitu.
exactly. Problem solving takes creativity, and that's a big part of what I do gitu. Then of course imagination, karena tanpa imagination you cannot really be that creative kan. You have to think ahead.
Iya, harus
Gitu.
prospektif gitu ke masa
Iya.
depan. Kayak cari calon tuh harus cari kayak gituan, imaginative.
Iya.
Ngomongin calon ya. Ngomongin calon, oh my god. Kayak berarti kalau misalnya gue punya calon nih kayak harus tes DNA dulu gak sih? So that we know like dalam-dalamnya cuy.
Langsung kayak, what is that? Terus colok hidungnya gitu, dikit-dikit masukin.
That's a tip. Oh my god.
Pikir PCR, Asaren tuh nyolok mulut, nggak tahu tiba-tiba dia nyolok hidung.
So,
Mohon maaf, Dinas kebanyakan colok hidung.
so by the way, talking about beauty and brain kan. Nah menurut kalian nih, apakah brain and beauty ini tuh vital for your success? What do you think?
Menurut aku sebenarnya, to be frank with you, the definition of brains and beauty yang saklek, yang beauty to looks and brains to kepintaran dalam segi kayak persekolahan gitu ya. Itu tuh something yang it's not I don't find it vital, but it's what's the status quo as what's seen as vital for success. Itu sebagai kayak kalau kita interview untuk job pasti yang ditanyain IPK. GPA or nilai gitu kan. It's something that's seen as sort of standard gitu. And then also di Indonesia kan kalau kita ngirim CV itu kadang-kadang disuruh pakai foto kan.
A bit objectifying sometimes.
Yeah, and honestly speaking, kayak as someone who who's worked for a while. So I've had jadi so far I've had about 4 years of professional experience. Yeah, so throughout my 4 years of professional experience in like the industry in Indonesia, and also knowing what it's like to work abroad, it shouldn't be vital for your success. There are seharusnya lebih banyak faktor daripada itu gitu. Karena sebenarnya so for example, if you don't come from a family that's relatively well off and you have to pay for your own schooling, you tend to work for a living, and then that might mean that you don't have the balance to study so hard yang akhirnya nilai kamu mungkin gak optimal gitu. And so sometimes those kinds of things should be taken into consideration gitu. And I think at the end of the day, what's most vital for success is what we said to be the most, like the definition of beauty and brains, yaitu kebaikan hati and street smarts, kepintaran dalam kehidupan. Karena sebenarnya, like in an interview, you can be book smart, but if you're not street smart, you might not be hired. Karena kayak you don't seem like you bisa
cocok jadinya. Banyak faktor yang like you said, kayak people would prefer, and this is even in law firm, they prefer if you are able to provide practical solutions yang kayak efektif, efficient, dan benar buat semuanya.